What's up, everybody, and thank you for taking a little bit of interest in learning how to play ukulele. Man, this ukulele, this particular one has been with me for the past, I want to say about 8, 9 years. I still have a little sticker from when, before I started teaching, I did my observation hours. A little second grader in one of the classes I was observing gave me that one, so I still kept it on my little ukulele. So this one, it means so much to me, and I just want to pass what I know down to you. So let's go ahead and get the boring stuff out of the way. This is the stuff that I'm going to be referring to later on, but you're definitely going to have to know it in order to make learning ukulele a little bit more easier. So first, we're going to go over the parts of the ukulele. So on my little pig sticker, I have the body of the ukulele. Obviously, you're going to have the strings, the sound hole, to where all the sound is going to bounce around inside the body and come out the hole, which is how it makes a lot of its sound. I'm going to have the bridge, which is going to hold one side of the strings together. You're going to have the neck right here, the headstock, and then you're going to have the tuners. Well, the parts of the ukulele, or the other parts of the ukulele that I didn't mention before, were the frets. So the frets are going to what helps the ukulele strings makes it sound whenever you press them down and change the pitch of the sound. So the very first part of the fret, or the very first fret, I'm sorry, is going to be right here. So if I say, hey, I need you to play the first fret, the bottom string, well, then obviously you would just put your finger right here. As we play the ukulele, you're going to notice that it's going to make a certain sound whenever I pluck an open string, and then it's going to make a different sound whenever I put my hand on a fret and go closer to this hand. So what I'm doing is that I'm shortening the string, I'm shortening the vibration so it makes the pitch a whole lot higher. If the string doesn't have any kind of interference, then obviously it's going to make its own natural sound just like that. So keep that in mind whenever you go to press down a string. If you hear a sound like this, then that means that you're just not allowing the string to vibrate, and it's a very, very easy fix. All you have to do is just make sure that your finger is pressed down on the string as hard as possible, just so the string can make a clean sound. The second part that I'm going to show you guys is the tuning. Now, tuning, it's kind of boring a little bit, but trust me, there's been plenty of times when I started to play something for someone and the song sounds so out of whack, even though I know I'm playing all the right notes, but it still sounds so wrong. It's because I just completely forgot to tune it. So I have found a ukulele tuner app that I'm showing you right here, that it uses the microphone on your camera, or I'm sorry, on your smartphone or on your tablet, whatever there's a microphone on, and it's gonna listen for the strings, and it'll tell you if you are going too flat, which it'll give you an indicator, like if you're using the one that I am, it'll give you an indicator that looks kind of like a B, but it's a natural symbol, or it'll tell you if you're too sharp, which kind of looks like a hashtag. What you have to do is that you'd have to make sure that your tuners, you twist them a little bit in order to make sure that you are going from the red or yellow into the green, which is right there in the middle. So just make sure that whenever you go to use your tuners, please make sure you don't just keep twisting and twisting and then check, because what you could be doing is throwing it completely out of whack and either making the strings way too tight, which will make your strings snap, or it'll make it way too loose, and you will definitely notice the difference. If you ever need any kind of help, just come ask me at school or during our ukulele practices, and I'm more than welcome to help you guys out. In the meantime, please make sure that you are practicing everything as much as possible. So you may be asking what to practice. Our very first chord that we went over while we were in class was the C chord. So let me go ahead and give you the rundown real quick. Right here, if you look at your hand, I'm using, well, obviously I'm right-handed. I'm gonna be strumming with my right hand, but I'm gonna be using these, the frets, or working the frets with my left hand. I would just be using 1, 2, 3, or 4, maybe sometimes 5. And I'm gonna be explaining that here in just a little bit. Whenever I say, hey, I want you to put your number 2, I'm gonna be using my middle finger. I'm gonna put my middle finger as hard as I can on the 3rd fret of the bottom string, just like this. You'll notice that I'm not pressing right down on the fret line, this little part right here. I'm actually right in the middle and I'm pressing down on the string itself with my fingertip. There's sometimes where you may want to just use your whole finger like this, and I really wouldn't recommend it because your finger is going to have to move all over the fretboard, just depending on what kind of chord you use. Plus, you may be muting the string right above it. So like I said, you may want to use your fingertip. Press down as hard as you can, and you should be making a very, very clean sound like this. Now notice how I did not go down as hard as I can, that nasty, nasty, really, really harsh sound. Just make sure that you do it very softly. And that's really all you need. So that right there is going to be the C chord, because I used all these other chords or all these other notes in order to make kind of like a family that's all related to each other. They all sound very, very well together. If I were to pluck the bottom string, that's just a note. So what I want you to do is, for your practice, I want you to just practice strumming down with the edge of your thumb right here, or you can use your fingertip and just do it very, very delicately. If you can just get the hang of just doing that, just very, very delicately without making it sound harsh, try, instead of the down strum, which is like that, try an up strum using your fingertip. Then last little bit of advice for you is that if you notice that how I'm moving, just make sure that your wrists, or you're moving your hand at your wrist and not at your elbow, because it's gonna make this sound a whole lot more organic instead of robotic. So instead of, which does not sound great at all, you would just, all right, cool. I hope you guys have a lot of fun practicing, and I'll see you next lesson.